Hello, what's up? Welcome back to another Tier List Tuesday. Today we are going to be tackling the PlayStation consoles, putting them in a tier list and ranking them from worst to best. Not a very long list, but it's still something that I want to cover. I want to go through doing all the consoles, doing Xbox consoles, Nintendo hardware, just really sort of try to tinker around with all this. So there's thousands of categories on this website. So okay, so here we go. Okay, so that's them in order, I think. We've got the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1 Slim, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 2 Slim, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 3 Slim, and I think there was two variations of the PlayStation 3. We've got the PS4, the PS4 Slim, the PS4 Pro, and then the PlayStation 5. We've got the rank series S, A, B, C, D. So let's start with the PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 came out in 1995. I was 10 years old. It's one of the greatest Christmases, I think, memory-wise, along with the Nintendo NES, getting that for Christmas one year, but I actually wanted a PlayStation 5 and my dad was like, "You're not getting one. You know, pick something else." I was like, "What? I'd really like a PlayStation 5." And my parents did this thing where they sort of like, they'd let me and my sister open all our gifts and then that was it. But they'd hide the main present, and we would always, like, Mum would always say at the end, like, "Oh, did you get everything you want?" And we never once turned around and said, "No, where was this or where was that?" Because me and my sister we weren't like ungrateful or anything like that. We just sort of said, "Yeah, we got everything. Thank you very much." But inside, you'd fucking screaming. And then I think that year when I got the PS5, my sister got a bike and it was just underneath this sheet, and how we didn't know it was under there. But she was obviously pretty pleased that she got this bike. And then my dad pulled out this huge box, massively oversized box, full of that like polystyrene foam sort of peanut shaped things. And then in that, digging through all this foam, was this PlayStation box, and I just absolutely just burst out crying. Like, I was absolutely elated. Came with Tekken 2, Destruction Derby, and Crash Bandicoot. That was sort of like the package around Christmas time. It just blew my mind, going from a massive jump from like the SNES and the Genesis and stuff, and then seeing this massive graphical jump to the Saturn and the PlayStation was just crazy. Very fond memories of the PlayStation. Such a great catalogue. The console itself, just a great machine. The memory cards, then the controllers, and we then got the DualShock, which was like an updated controller, which was just phenomenal as well. So I'm gonna stick the original PlayStation as an S for me. It's just unbelievable, and it's also sort of weird because you PlayStation Plus Premium, you want all these games, you want all the PlayStation 1 games to come over to PlayStation Plus Premium, but going back and playing them, I really tried to go back and play Siphon Filter, and it was fucking shit. It was really shit. Like, the graphics were terrible, the controls were terrible. Just a really, really, really sort of shit experience, do you know what I mean? You kind of look through your past gaming, experience in games through rose-coloured glasses, and you think, it was amazing, but then you go back and play them, and you get brought down to reality quite quick to see how far some of these games have dated, and the control schemes aren't that great or anything. So PlayStation 1 Slim, I never owned a PlayStation 1 Slim, so I can't really comment on it. I would probably say you could just stick it up there again. But I never owned it, but for argument's sake, let's just say it's the same as the PlayStation original. It's just smaller, so we'll just leave it up there as well. The PlayStation 2 I got, again, another Christmas I got it. I didn't cry for this one though. The PlayStation, I was really, really, really wanted it, but this one I kind of I don't know how old I was, but I got the PlayStation 2, and it wasn't hidden away this time. It was actually just one of the presents under the tree, and I remember opening it up and being like, "Holy shit, PS2!" Didn't get a game with it, and then my grandma pulled out this. She goes, "Oh, I've got you something," and I didn't ask for a game. It was total schoolboy error. Opened the box, the game up. GTA 3. Couldn't believe it. Never asked for GTA 3. Didn't even know it was a thing. Went up and set it up, and just absolutely mind blown. Absolute mind blown when I played that game. Like, that whole sandbox and open world. And I don't remember a lot of PlayStation 2 games. I don't remember a lot of PlayStation 2 experiences. I remember sort of like playing games like PlayStation 2 games. Let's just have a quick look here. PS2 games. PS2 games. Fucking mind's gone blank. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do remember playing a lot of PlayStation games. Played a lot of GTA, God of War. Played a lot of Resident Evil 4, the Vice City, San Andreas. So yeah, there's quite a lot of Final Fantasy X. There was a SmackDown game that I used to play. Here Comes the Pain, I think it was. Used to play with my mate. Used to come up, Andrew, who's also got a YouTube channel, Big Papa Sparks. He used to come round pretty much every afternoon or every night, and we used to just create these like matches, and it was great. Simpsons Hit and Run, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, so I don't know why I've gone so blank there. But yeah, I played Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Need for Speed games, Burnout, I remember playing Burnout, Scarface, Silent Hill. Yeah, so I had a Def Jam Fight for New York, I remember that game as well. But so yeah, it did have a lot of games. I know the PlayStation 2 is like the highest selling PlayStation console ever, which so by rights it should go up the top there, but I don't think it was as good as the PlayStation 1 for nostalgia. Obviously the graphics were better and everything. I just can you stick it there? Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick it there. I mean, the PlayStation 1 really could go at an A, but I always have that fond memory of Christmas and my time with it, and just coming in from school, throwing my bag on the bed, and just hearing that fucking boot up screen, and just like just playing some amazing games. So I'll probably leave the PlayStation 2 there. In fact, no, I'm gonna put that there. It feels right there. PlayStation Slim. I didn't own a PlayStation Slim, but I'm just going to put it at the same. Anything that's got a Slim, I'm just going to stick right where it should be, next to it. I mean, obviously it's smaller. In fact, I'm not going to. Do you know what? I'm not even going to put the Slims. I never owned a Slim of anything apart from an Xbox 360 Slim, so the Slims aren't getting put into the list. I've made that executive decision. There's also a modem that you could get on the PlayStation 2, but I never experienced anything like that. I never played anything with like the online. I wish I had, because Resident Evil File 1 and 2, Resident Evil Outbreak looked really, really cool. But I didn't know. Like I didn't really jump into online gaming until PC Dreamcast sort of era. But yeah, PlayStation 3, the PS3, I think it's definitely PlayStation's worst machine that they've made. It's definitely the worst console that they've made. The price announcement was just ridiculous. 500-600 quid, which is just the arrogance of coming off of the success of the PlayStation 2, thinking that they could go into. See, I've always said the console or the company that wins, quote unquote, wins the generation is the most arrogant going forward. Seeing it go from the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, in some ways we've seen it from the PS4 to the PS5. So I'm gonna put it at a C. I just felt it was a very slow, clunky machine. It was ugly. It looked awful. I just remember the UI being really slow, and the whole like updating your system and everything. It was just really slow and methodical. They had a really shit generation compared to Xbox, I think, in my opinion. I think they pulled it back when The Last of Us came out and whatnot. I'd maybe put it at a B, maybe at a B. I'll put it at a C, I'm leaving it there. Games like, Infamous, Resistance, Uncharted, Ratchet and Clank, there was just just great games. That's what PlayStation's all about, just great games. And then we've got the PS4. PS4 for me, arguably, I think you cannot deny that console was just an absolute beast. Like that generation was they just like steamrolled that generation. Obviously getting handed the generation by the Xbox One. That launch was fucking awful. And they've, in my opinion, the Xbox have never recovered since. PlayStation just had probably the best generation I think any generation's ever had. Just exclusive after exclusive after exclusive after exclusive, just these games. And, the UI was fast and crisp. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the fan. In fact, I would probably put it at an A, because I think I'm going to put the PlayStation 4 Pro at an S. I never had... did I have a Slim? I did have a Slim, actually. I did have a Slim upstairs in a bedroom. It was a smaller hard drive. It was quite quiet. Probably put that as a B, to be honest with you. But the PS4, amazing machine. The fucking fan on it sounded like it was like a fucking jet fighter trying to take off in your living room. And then we got the PS4 Pro, which I bought. I think if you owned a PS4 Pro, you didn't see that much of a jump between the PS4 Pro and the PS5. PS4 Pro let you choose between graphics and fidelity. It was whisper quiet. It didn't make any noise. It was huge. It was big. And I think if you've got a PS4 Pro, if you still got a PS4 Pro, you don't necessarily need to upgrade to a PS5 straight away, because you can still play pretty much everything. Everything's still released for the last generation with PlayStation. That's why I don't think I'm going to buy a PS6 when that comes out, because I genuinely feel like the PS6 will still support PS5 games, and when you download a PlayStation 6 game, it'll give you the option like it does now. You're basically buying two games and getting two versions of the games. You're getting a PS4 version and a PS5 version, and you click which version you want to play. There has been, at the start of the PlayStation 5's life cycle, there was a few cases where I was playing a game and I was like, well, this doesn't look very good. And then I realised I was actually playing the PS4 version instead of the PS5. So they've made it a lot easier now to do so. But I think the PS4 Pro, for me, I really enjoyed the whole choosing graphics and fidelity and that sort of stuff. You know, choosing if you want to up frame rate or up the graphics. But if you up the graphics, the frame rate is... I can't play games at 30 FPS anymore after seeing 120 FPS. But I loved the PS4 Pro. I thought it was great. In fact, I think I'm going to change this again. I'm really fucking sorry, but I think I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do this. I'll explain what I've done there. These two are just outstanding. Outstanding machines. This is a better version of that, because that sounded like it was trying to fucking take off in your living room. And that is a lesser version of this one. And the PS3, for me, my experience with the PS3, the highest I could put it would be there. But I do think it's PlayStation's worst received console. But I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Wrestling with my mind. And then we got the PS5. PS5 sold over 50 million units sold. They've just crushed that threshold. It'll be very interesting to see. I like the PlayStation 5, I'll be honest. I like the UI. I like how quiet it is. You can't hear it when it's on. And it's a launch console. It is very, very quiet. I like the design. I like the way it looks. I like the way you can swap the faceplates out if you want, but I like the white on black. I like the controller. I got this for Christmas. I got the DualSense, which is a fantastic controller, but the battery life is fucking dog shit. I think about 4 to 6 hours. So I think it's actually designed to be plugged in, wired all the time. I've got PlayStation VR. I absolutely love the PS5's VR as well. I think that is a great piece of kit. The PlayStation 4 VR was still good, but an absolute nightmare to set up. But that's not on here. That's consoles. But yeah, I just think it's a better system. It's fast. You know, if you can do all that stuff, you can pin your trophies now. You can move stuff to the side. They're just constantly sort of evolving and changing the sort of UI and the things that you can do on it. You know, you can double press your PlayStation. You can hold your PlayStation icon on your controller now, and it turns off the controller, or you can double tap it and it'll bring up your news feed. So I really like the PlayStation. I don't think it's an S. I would probably stick it at an A, because it's just a sort of better iteration of the PlayStation 4 Pro, in my opinion. And then you've got the PS5 Pro, which I don't think is for me. I don't think I'll be getting that. I don't know, unless it's, a massive jump, but I don't think we're going to get massive jumps anymore in graphics. I think it's just going to be slight little skips forward. And that's the list. And I suppose if I had to put these in anywhere, I think the PlayStation 3 original design would go bottom. I think the second iteration would go bottom. Is that the? I can't remember if that. I think that looks better. That's a nicer, smoother, sleeker design. That would probably go there. PlayStation 1 probably there, and PlayStation 2 probably there as well. And that's it. That's the list. Maybe I should have done a console one in general and had PlayStation 2, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox in there, and that would have been a bit more juicy, because that would see where things sort of fall. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to try and find a bigger list. I've actually got a day off tomorrow, so I think I'm going to record a tier list Tuesday and make it quite a lengthy one, and then just edit it for the week. So that's the list. That's where I think the PlayStation consoles fall into play. If you like the video, please leave a like, and if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, but don't feel like you have to. I am currently playing Pentiment on PS5 and Helldivers. I was thinking about doing sort of another playthrough. I haven't done a playthrough for a while, so I might get something done with that. But for now, that is the video, and we'll see you on the next one. So take care of yourselves. Adios.